Hello, everyone. Why?
How's everyone doing? Probably better than us, because we had to read two parts of this Dave Rubin chapter.
I am not a fan of Dave Rubin, as
You
has
don't
been
say.
shared, and he's not. It keeps getting worse. I don't know. So we're gonna do gay marriage here. We're also gonna do immigration. Depending on our conversation, you might see these in two parts. I have no idea. I can't tell the future, but we'll see. So this is Dave Rubin's take on gay marriage. Obviously, Dave is one of the gays himself, although his membership is tenuous at best.
I was gonna say, do we have
Yes.
do my people have to claim him?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that that's
Nope.
favorable to the
It doesn't
LGBT
matter.
community.
It doesn't
That's a
matter if it's
shame.
favorable. I get all the bad straights. You get all the bad gays.
Fair enough. You do get Jeremy, so I think it evens out.
But he crosses over into people that like cheese curds a lot too. So you're part of that Venn diagram. So um, I guess right up front, spicy take. Here's the hottest take on gay marriage. We're both for it.
Yep.
That's it. Not for
Obviously.
marriage in general, just for the quality of it. Don't get married.
Now I don't know about anyone else, but I'm specifically in favor of banning straight marriage. Actually, I
Yeah.
think only the gays should
That's
get
the
it.
gay
So,
agenda. That's what it is.
true.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's really like outside of a religious argument. I don't know that you can make an argument against gay marriage. Luckily, Dave Rubin does not try to, since he is in fact married, and that would be silly. Um, he does do a little bit of a thing in the gay marriage discussion where he talks about but I guess it's more about the cake thing than gay marriage.
Well, first, let me talk about this a little
Sure.
bit. He says,
Bad
part of being,
jokes.
oh God, I wasn't even going to talk about his bad jokes, but he says part of being a true classical liberal is accepting that many people have fundamental objections to homosexuality because of their religious faith. You
Mm-hmm.
might not like their views. Hey, you might even think they're pretty old fashioned, but that's irrelevant. Like you, these people are entitled to their own outlook.
I don't
Which I
know.
feel like, by the way he words that, implies that people on the left don't agree that these people are entitled to their opinion, if you want to
Right.
call shitting on the existence of people different than you an opinion. The point is that it's just not okay for these people to put that on other people, right? It's
Yeah.
not okay for these people to make legislation that makes life more difficult for gay people just for being gay.
Correct.
And Dave more or less seems to agree with this. He says basically, hey, if these people start infringing on your rights, that's one thing, but as long as you're minding their own business, it's fine. And I think
He,
everyone basically agrees with that, but I think he would consider people being, quote, canceled or whatever for being against gay marriage.
what
He'd be
what
like, well, that's ridiculous, which is absurd considering, again, regardless of what your opinions are, whether they're on gay marriage or something else, or whether or not hot dogs are sandwiches, you have
sandwiches?
consequences for your speech. Your company that employs you might not want to continue employing you if you're very open about your weird regressive views,
Yeah.
because a company doesn't want to be associated with someone who doesn't like a specific set of their customer base.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
yeah, I mean it's also he says like, you can believe which he brings up Ben Shapiro. Like I'm friends with Ben Shapiro, who openly says I hate you, gay, and doesn't think that my marriage is legitimate. And did you see the other day maybe it was yesterday that he was like, well, I think in 50 years or so, Ben Shapiro is going to come around to this, and we're going to be friends for a long, long time. I respect him a lot, and I think someday he's going to come up to me and go, Dave, you know what? I was wrong about this. Dave, you sad little child. I'm sorry to tell. Look, I know that being gay it can be rough. Not as rough in 2020, but he grew up before that. Being gay before that was like, what, you got to be in the closet a little bit, or you feel like you got to be in the closet. He talked about his coming out experience. It was supremely negative until there was a moment. And I can empathize with that. That sounds like trash. That doesn't sound like a good time. But but buddy, you can't shield yourself from this kind of stuff. You gotta understand that the fact of the matter is Ben Shapiro fucking hates the fact that you have touched your husband's ding dong multiple times to completion. Like it's literally about the ding dong touching. It doesn't have much to do with the marriage thing. And furthermore, do you consider it not harmful for Ben Shapiro to be an open advocate for the opposite of your rights as a high-profile political pundit? Do you not find that to be the kind of harm that would constitute not being nice to the gay community?
That's what I don't get, because he implies that there's this sort of hard division between just disliking gay people for whatever prejudice reason.
And then taking, like, action in regard to that dislike, right? Do you not find political action to be action?
They feed into each other.
Right.
Your thoughts become actions. If there's a large swath of the population that basically thinks that God hates gay people, that is going to be reflected in the representation that they have within the governmental structures we have in this country. It's an unfortunate fact, but that is the truth. So wouldn't you want to? And I imagine he has this discussion with Ben Shapiro all the time. Like, hey, Ben, let me try and convince you that I have human rights. When really, what's the point of that argument? Dave, you deserve better. Stop being friends with Ben Shapiro because he does not respect you. It really doesn't seem like it.
Exactly. And I personally would consider, and I don't know why he doesn't consider, a political action like voting or advocating on Ben Shapiro's humongous platform, advocating for other people to vote against equal rights for gay people. How is that not taking a negative action against gay people? How is that not a harmful act toward gay people? I genuinely don't understand how he can reconcile. Like, does he think a bad action against a gay person is like literally just a physical harm thing? Like,
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, because, like, look, again,
what's his definition?
You can go out and be like, I hate gay people. You're stupid, but you're allowed to do it. But then there are repercussions for your actions. I don't understand what Dave considers a benign homophobe, more or less. It's very confusing.
Right, and he uses examples like, it's not like I'm going to force a synagogue to host a lesbian commitment ceremony. That's not what we're talking about. I'm fine with you segmenting, your religious beliefs with and how they're incongruent with maybe how society acts. I'm fine if you want to be conservative in your synagogue. I get it. I value religious belief and the freedom therein, but I don't value him being able to be a fucking figurehead for anti-gay rhetoric. Like that's the thing. Now, I'm not saying I want Ben Shapiro to be forced not to say those things. I'm just saying, as a gay person, Dave, it doesn't make sense that, like, he doesn't hold up his end of the bargain insofar as, like, don't harm the gays.
Yeah, he goes on to talk about, and you briefly mentioned this, but he talks about, like, the gay cake argument, which is hilarious that people on the right are still bringing this up, because that case was found in the favor of the cake baker. So it's like they're stuck on this argument.
And by the way, said that, like, progressives were, like, clawing at the door for this fucking cake thing, when it was the people that this affected that took it to court. Like, the only reason we talked about it is because it made it to the Supreme Court. It wasn't like, when it was in the fucking appellate court system, we weren't like, yeah, fucking get the cake, guys. Like, and frankly, I think the argument was solid. I'm not super happy with it, but, like, forcing someone with the art, okay, I can see that. That could set weird precedent, sure.
Dave makes the distinction, and this is a distinction that's important, because this is basically what the court held, was that you cannot discriminate and not, like, let's say, for instance, it's just a blank white cake.
Yeah.
A gay couple comes in and wants you to make a blank white cake for them.
Yeah.
You can't say no because they're gay. But if they come in and they want a rainbow cake that says, God loves gays, you can say, I don't want to make this cake specifically because it would be a breach of my freedoms.
I find that reasonable. That protects people on either side. That's the same thing as religious freedom. Like, you can be an atheist or you can be a religious believer, and both of those things are protected. The same thing here. Like, an artist isn't forced to draw a swastika or white supremacy stuff. Just the same way you're not forced to go something that's incongruent with your religious beliefs. I'm fine with that. I don't think that was actually what happened in that case. but that's
Oh, no.
but that's where the precedent was going. So
Yeah.
it's important that I think that's the way that Supreme Court judgment went.
I guarantee a gay couple comes in and wants just a blank cake.
Yeah.
That same person's going to
Yeah.
refuse to make that
Well,
cake,
would have. I don't know if they
is
do now.
wrong.
I don't. But
Sure. But either way, he seems to be harping on that despite the fact that the ruling went the way you would expect, which
Right.
is very surprising to me. He even compares it to like, oh, you wouldn't make like a Jewish cake maker make a Nazi cake. Like, correct. We're on the same page, Dave. That's not what we're saying. We're saying at best, it seems that they're using this as an excuse to discriminate against gay customers. Whatever. It's whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dave just frustrates me because it seems like the only reason he's in favor of anything involving gay rights is because he is gay. And even though that's the case, sometimes it still comes off like he's shilling for the straights. Like,
he
and
really
hey,
is. He does this sort of pop gay. Like it's almost like Tina Fey wrote his version of gay, where he says something like, "Nor am I forcing Ben to shack up with a dude and listen to Tina Turner playlists on loop. Yes, I'm more of a Tina guy than a Beyonce guy. Sue me, gays." Like, that's very 30 Rock, like I'm a gay. Like, he's almost a caricature of gays. Like, I don't even, and I'm not gonna sit here and invalidate his sexuality. I fully believe that he's a gay guy, but like, I also fully think that he's so goddamn buyable that he might divorce his husband and have a fucking beard in 5 years.
that'd be hilarious. 15 years from now, Dave Rubin, 10 years into a straight marriage because the Koch brothers wrote him a check.
Hell yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
I want to see that broken shell of a man who sold himself for a vagina he didn't want. Oh, and she'd probably be the worst too. Anyway, is there anything else we want to talk about with gay marriage in general? It might not even have to have specifically to do with this. I think a lot of the crux of this orbits around his bizarre dick suckle, no pun intended here, for Ben Shapiro. Like, there's this weird, like, I have to respect Ben Shapiro or I'm going to lose viewers sort of thing, so I have to, like, sit there in it while he tells me to my face, that he doesn't think that he wouldn't come to a party because it's gay, and he thinks that we're just gonna have butt sex everywhere. Like, that's literally what he said on the Rubin report. Like, oh, what happens at gay barbecues? Is it just debauchery? Like, fucking barbecue is what happens at a gay barbecue. Yes, he fucking did. Yes, he fucking did. And he said that I don't believe that your marriage is legitimate. Like, right to Dave's face. Like, how are you like? And Dave's just like, well, let bygones be bygones. Hopefully, Dave's husband was like, okay, you fucking pussy. Like, what's going on here? Defend me a bit. Like, hi, I'm your husband. I love you. What the fuck? Like, that's fucking wild. Fucking wild. Imagine having a friend that, like, openly, like, fucking was like, whatever your relationship is like, I don't think your relationship is fundamentally correct, like, morally right. Under God. Yeah. Like, what? Leave.
I'm not saying you have to, like, punch that person in the face, but you don't have to associate with them. What the fuck?
Like, you don't have to, like, I don't have to like Baja Blast. Luckily, I do. I don't have to like her, but, like, thinking, like, fundamentally, you, like, it's bad that you're together. You're smashing bits. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who would care? I don't know. It's just wild to me. Wild. Also, of course, he couldn't help it. He brought up Nazis again. He's brought up Nazis every fucking time. He'll bring up Nazis or ISIS no matter what. I guarantee it. So.
Maybe this was ghost written by Godwin.
Fuck. All right, so that's it for gay marriage. Next time we will we'll do immigration. It's not going to get better. He's going to invoke the holy name of everyone's favorite leftist, Barack Obama. You know, and we're gonna quiver in our boots as we try very hard to save his fucking good name. Meanwhile, he's gonna bomb brown American children in foreign countries. So,
the drone pilots are female, though.
That's fine. That's fine. We need more female cops, is what we really need. Okay. So, oppress me, mommy. So, do all the social media things. Get us on Twitter. Do our Twitches. I think Hannah Reloaded is the Twitch.
Yep, twitch.tv/Hannah Reloaded.
And twitch.tv/actualjake. We both do things. She does tinfoil, I do corn. Eventually, she will wrap around me and will make delicious elote, which is a Mexican street corn with mayo and cheese on it, which sounds perfect. So, come hang out with us. More Rubin. More Rubin on the way. I love you deeply. We give him some sort of sexual noise. Okay, that's... I was... Okay. Ah. That's my sexual noise.
I just
it's like sort of surprise and also like, is that good? Ah. Anyway.
That noise doesn't come from my mouth, though.
It's the bussy.